Hi, Kennedy kids. It's Miss Paulson. This is my first music distance learning lesson. So, unlike the video I posted, or the two videos I posted last week, right now you won't see a video of me. Instead, this is going to be really focused on some just light learning to get us in the groove. And this is a lesson for anyone at any grade level at Kennedy. I want to start with something that if you are with your family, that all of you can watch at a time, and that's totally fine. Eventually, we might space it out so there'll be one lesson for kinder through second and one lesson for third through fifth. But for this first week, I want it to be so that you can be in a group together, and it should be good for everybody. Kinder and first, it might be a little tricky for you, but honestly, I have faith in all of you, and I think no matter what, any kid will get something out of this. Moving on. So, hello to you all. Here's Miss Paulson. I want to show you guys who I've been hanging out with. This is Ellie the dog. I've had a lot of time to walk her. I've been reading a lot. I've been playing my PS4 a lot. And it's all been good and well, but I will have to admit I really miss seeing you guys. 1 week of this laziness was fine, but I really wish I was back in the classroom. But for now, this will have to be a substitute, and hopefully this is a way for us to still learn even while we're apart. I'm using a screen capture, so if things look messy, I promise it'll get better. It's my first time. Here in Salem Kaiser, for elementary music, we kind of like to divide our learning into 3 big chunks. So the stuff you see over here by the yellow, that says rhythm. Underneath, rhythm is basically long and short sounds. So in class, when you hear me do clapping patterns like 1 and 2 and 3, 4, or 8, 8, 8, 8, quart, quart, those are rhythms. If you see these weird squiggle things down at the bottom where it looks like a weird letter 3 and these little lines down here, those are all types of rests. Those are silences. So rhythm is basically just long and short sounds and silences. In the middle, we have melody. Melody really has to do with the highs and lows. And it also has to do with reading the pitches up and down the staff. Last but not least, over here in the green, this is actually going to be our focus. It's really everything else. And in this little box, I could not contain everything. So I'm actually going to show you on the next page all the stuff that goes into expressive. Looking here, if you stay in the corner right here where it says instruments, expressive has to do with all the different instruments. It can be in the orchestra, it could be for like in a jazz band or folk music. It's all the different instruments. Down here you see for elementary music, we want to talk about style. Classical, folk, jazz. Down here on the right side, dynamics has to do with how loud or soft something is. So forte being loud, piano being soft. Up here in the corner, it says tempo. That has to do with fast and slow. So allegro, fast like a cheetah, lento, slow like a tortoise. Now in the middle, I've saved this one because this is actually one I want to focus in on today. Tonality. Tonality is a very fancy way of saying what type of sound are we hearing. If you hear a sound of a song, it has kind of it can be normal, it can be bright, it can be happy, but any of those sounds are going to be major. If you hear a song and it has that kind of dark, mysterious sound, maybe it's sad, maybe it's angry, maybe it's just kind of stormy and not even sad to you, probably that song is in minor. Looking at our next page, I'm going to play for you 2 examples of each. So over here in major, here's a very typical major song. It's I believe, a song with a trumpet. Take a listen. That example is a very typical major song, and it's very clear how happy and bright it is. I also want to show you though that major doesn't always have to be quite that cheerful. It can be really slow. As long as it's something that has that kind of normal sound, it's probably in major. Here's a different example. Sorry to pause in the middle there. But that again, that's another example of major. Again, it's not as cheerful as the first one, but it's still major. It's not dark, it's not mysterious. Over here in minor, here's a very typical version of a minor song. Again, very typical of minor. You can really hear how that just feels really dark and pulled down almost. Now this one I think is a little less clear, but I want to show you how minor doesn't have to always sound the same. So that one, you can hear it's a lot faster and a lot jauntier, but it's still in minor. It still has that darkness to it, and it still is in a minor key. Now you might be wondering, well, what? Like, how do you define that? I'm going to show you. If you look over here, major, if I just use the first 5 notes, it goes like this. Do, re, mi, fa, so. If you can, I'm going to sing it again, and when I say me, I want you, with that arrow right there, to point your finger up. I'm going to do it again. Do, re, mi, fa, so. This time, sing that with me. Do, re, mi, fa, so. Now, on the next page, I want to show you how minor is almost the same. If you look at it, it's almost the same as before. The only difference is you're going to say the word may. I know it looks like the word me. In music, sometimes they say things in a kind of a funny way. For the word may, it's just a little lower, but just that little bit of lowness is going to change it to minor. The whole thing isn't low, just this middle guy. Do, re, mi, fa, so. Listen to that again. Show me may and point down when I sing that may part. Do, re, mi, fa, so. Sing that with me. Do, re, mi, fa, so. Now, last bit. I don't want to make videos that are 20, 40 minutes long because I understand you have things to do. This is an optional assignment. I want you to think of your favorite songs. They don't have to be songs I've taught you. They can be songs, as long as they're songs that your parents are good with and appropriate for you. I want you to think about the different songs you like to sing. Think about which ones do you believe are in major. A lot of pop songs are, but also a lot of pop songs nowadays are in minor. If you can think of an example of both, you can comment on our Google Classroom on the post that you got this from. And if you wanted to comment on the YouTube, that's also fine too. I just won't really know that it's you, and it's probably better if you do it on the Google Classroom. Again, totally optional. I just want to see what songs you are listening to. And I want to hear from you guys. So today, that's just a quick lesson talking about what we're going to be working on, major and minor. If you have any questions, feel free to comment.